Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us this morning. Welcome to Ask the Expert, an award-winning daily series from 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. to help small businesses. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments of the live feed, which is alongside here. If you need any more advice, join the official Intuit QuickBooks SMB community group on Facebook. Accountants and business experts on hand 24/7. During the live session, we will be running a poll, so please do engage with it, and I'll reveal the results at the end. Once again, thank you for joining. I'd start by introducing myself. So my name is Dr. Kamran Shaikh. I'm the founder and the managing partner at Morgan Chartered Accountants, which is a national firm of accountants based, headquartered in Midlands and offices in London and Manchester. We've been a practice which has been in operation as a practice for over 50 years, but I've been at the helm of it since 2007. It's been exciting times. It's been a roller coaster from where we started to where we are, but you learn, you adapt, and you implement. Myself, I'm a proud father, a married man, a proud father of 4 children, a boy and 3 girls. The boy is a handful. The girls are absolutely fantastic. With regards to the practice, we worked alongside our clients to build strategies. We work alongside our clients to develop resources and develop services which is best suited for them to help them grow as an organization, as a business, and for us to become an integral part of their organization and helping them go along. With my experience, I've worked in several industries. In my experience in industry, I've worked for IT, I've worked for logistics, I've also worked for an airline, believe it or not, in my previous life. But at the helm of Morgan Reach, we've been working very closely to ensure that we are able to offer our clients a whole range of services, starting from compliance, value added, and ongoing services that could support them. And they are catering for their needs as things change on a regular basis. I think we're all pretty aware of that word change. The pandemic's actually definitely helped a lot of people grow their businesses, a lot of people to change their businesses, and a lot of people to develop them. And it's also affected us in a bit of a negative manner. But I believe it's emphasized the fact that life and business is a continuous change. And as long as we're doing that in our businesses and we're implementing it, it's quite positive for us, and it will bring a lot of value to our businesses. It will bring those fresh ideas. It will bring those fresh opportunities that a lot of people are looking for nowadays. So with regards to our topic today, what is our topic? Our topic today is getting the most of your accountant. What do we understand from that? I mean, what does that really mean, get the most from your accountant? So let's start by looking at what accountants do offer, or what do we expect generally from accountants, or what's the perception the general public has, or most certainly had before the pandemic, before the accountants stepped up a little bit. So generally, most of the accountants provide compliance services. And what do I mean by compliance services? This is what their clients expect from them. Services like accounts production, bookkeeping, payroll preparation, VAT preparation, and tax return preparation. That's what generally people would say an accountant would do. And normally that's all people believe accountants do. And that's exactly what most accountants offer. Then, when you're looking a bit further, other accountants, dare I say, better accountants who've adapted to the changing world around them, offer much more than the compliance services to ensure that their clients prosper and grow once they're engaged with them. And this is exactly what I was talking about, where we've grown as an organization, and where a lot of accountants in the industry have taken the mantelpiece, where they've said, look, we need to make change, we need to bring change within the practices, and we need to ensure that we offer services which are relevant to our clients and should help our clients and their businesses on an ongoing basis. Now, these accountants approach a holistic approach in their dealing with the client. They like to deep dive into their business, which is completely unheard of accountants, because it's generally speaking, accountants would report on what's already happened in your business. And it's always the bean counters, as we know, reporting information post-event. But these accountants, the better ones, would want to deep dive into your business and your personal and your family affairs, in terms of your children, in terms of your parents, in terms of your spouse, in terms of your aspirations, and look at your life to understand what is the present situation and devise a future strategy. And when I talk about future strategy, it's not one size fits all. It's about what is required for you as an individual, what is required by you as a business, and where do they see that they can support your business to grow it further and further. And also, if not to grow, but to sustain, because that's one of the major things that people have realized needs to be done during this tough times. And also to devise strategies and work with you and maybe give you ideas, which will give you a better view in terms of where you stand today, what you can get better, and where they could come in to provide not just the advice piece, but also to provide things where that will help you protect your business going forward. And there's so many things that we could look at that are there. But I think that the interesting bits is when we ask why, or what, or who, and where. And these are the questions people don't ask nowadays, especially with their accountants, because a lot of accountants are not the best to promote their services. A lot of accountants are not the best to say where they think the clients could benefit from them, and if they had the knowledge base, still to push it forward. Certain things I think we should definitely ask as small businesses from our accountants is, are they providing us a technology-led solution? Everyone in the industry has heard of making tax digital. And yes, we've heard that it's been pushed to April 2023 as a start. But in reality, that year that we've gained is the year we should utilize for us to get prepared for when that actually goes live and have the mechanism in place, so we're not rushing or making mistakes at the very last minute. So I think the basic thing we should ask nowadays is, the first question is my accountant providing a technology-led solution? If they are, absolutely fantastic. And what do I mean by that? It could be something like QuickBooks, it could be something other cloud software, or something that provides you that online collaboration piece with your accountants. Is your accountant reviewing your business structure? And I could be here for an hour talking about business structures, but if you're a partnership, if you're a sole trader, should you incorporate to become a limited company? Is that going to be tax beneficial for you? Is that going to provide protection for your business, or is it going to make your business more valuable if you were looking at succession planning? Is your accountant looking for providing you management accounts information? A lot of businesses, all they look at is, how much money do I have in the bank account? And that's absolutely fine. And there's nothing wrong with it. But in reality, with the changing of times, just having how much money I have in the bank account is probably not enough. Maybe you need to look at trends. Maybe you need to look at costings. Maybe you need to look at what sort of advisory do I need to make sure, am I spending the right sort of money to get the right sort of value? So management information plays a key role. There's other services which are whether you're using the right ERP system. ERP is enterprise resource planning system. Are you using the right system as an SME, who's a growing SME, who's a developing SME, which is dealing with a lot of suppliers, a lot of customers, a lot of its staff? And is that collaboration of the data in the best possible manner for you to benefit your customers and work closely with your suppliers and provide the best working environment for your staff? So all of these questions can be asked. Is your accountant advising you on your inheritance tax? I mean, I've always studied, and everybody's always said, oh, you have to pay all taxes. Inheritance tax is a tax you don't have to pay. Inheritance tax is something you can mitigate or reduce by effective planning. Is your accountant providing you that service? Are they offering that service? Are they offering a strategic partnership with somebody who can offer you that service? It's very, very important. Is your accountant talking to you about protection of your assets? A lot of SMEs, what they do is they develop. I mean, a lot of people work on a house or buy a classic car, and that's their asset. But for an SME, an owner manager, the asset is your business. It is your organization. And how do you protect that in the event that you were to become disabled? Do you have a lasting power of attorney for the business in place? If you were to die, do you have a shareholder protection to protect your family? Do you have an insurance policy that if you were the person who's the sole life and soul of the business, and if you were no longer there, would that provide you any funds from an insurance policy, for example, for your family in the event of you dying? Is there an estate planning that they're offering? And one of the most important things that have taken a huge rise nowadays is tax investigations. Has your accountant got the capacity, or have they got the ability to provide HMRC tax investigation services? And then that's the sort of things that we need to look at nowadays to ensure that we're talking about the issues that we're facing today. We're talking about the issues that are faced by small businesses. With the HMRC investigations on the rise, it's very, very important that if they offer that service in-house, that you're able to then go and call on their services and you feel secure. And that's just a few of the things that I would like to talk about, maybe take questions on. But it's very, very important, because the more we talk about this with our customers, with our suppliers, and in your case, with our accountants, the better it is, because those conversations would lead to better value conversations. We talk about added value, and this is the added value your professional advisor, your confidant, your accountant should be able to advise on your businesses, on your personal life, and then develop that from there and see where you can take it to the next level, and how they can support you, and how you would feel comfortable with your businesses going forward. And on that note, I think I'm very happy to start looking at several questions that might be coming in. We see there's quite a few people on several platforms that are coming in, and the questions have started to come. Right. Let's look at this. So I've got the first question coming in. There we go. So we've got Louise on Twitter. Hi, Louise. And Louise is asking, I've been operating for a year now on my own without an accountant, and I think it's time to get one. How do I find the right one for me? What should I be asking and considering? And that is an absolutely phenomenal question. And Louise, you're not alone by yourself. This is exactly the same question a lot of startups are asking. This is exactly the same question every entrepreneur who's going out there, who's set up, who's got the idea, who's got the expertise, who knows who can do it, who knows who can deliver it, and then goes and sets something up. They're asking the same question. How do I find the right accountant for me? And it's very, very simple, yet very, very difficult. You've got to look at quite a few factors here. One of the factors that's very important finding the right accountant for you is, what do you do? Now, a lot of accountants, there's plenty of accountants in the marketplace. Some of the things I've mentioned above could be a checklist of sorts. And you can say, I'm looking for an accountant who can offer me these services. I'm looking for an accountant who can offer me protection services, compliance services, growth services, a potential development. Because don't forget, accountants are your coaches as well. Accountants are just not accountants. They've got an experience of a wide range of experience with working with several businesses across several industries. And sometimes some accountants are very, very niche in a particular industry. So they might be an accountant who's just there for dentists. So I would presume if this accountant is forward-looking, and these accountants are somebody who want to make sure they provide an excellent world-class service to their customers, what they would do is they would probably advertise or optimize their services online. And one of the best things to do nowadays, because everything is digital, everything's online, is just Google. So if you were a dentist, for example, and I don't know because you haven't mentioned what industry you're in, Louise, but if you were a dentist, you would go and say, dental accountants, and type in your area maybe, or a dental specialist accountant or dentist specialist accountant. And when you Google that, that would come up with 3, 4, 5, 6 results on the search result. Go and ask the relevant questions. Don't just jump for the first one. It is like when you're going to buy a car and you're looking at different cars and you're thinking, which car should I get? If you're going to buy a suit, if you're going to buy a dress, and you go to a shop, you just don't go and say, this is the first one and I'll have it. What you do is you go, okay, well, I like this one, I'll try it on. I like the second one, I'll try it on. I like the third one, I'll try it on. And once you've tried it on, you will go, fantastic. This is the one I want to go for. Accountants are similar and dissimilar. You just can't try on their services, but you can go and speak to them. You can have a Zoom call with them if you don't want to go and physically meet them, and if they're not in your local area. But have those conversations, have a checklist that you have, and use that checklist to go against what you want, what you're looking for. Do they know what your business does? Do they know if you were to grow, if you wanted to grow, do they have contacts they can link you up with? Could they provide services to ensure that your business structure is set up in the right way? Could they provide services to ensure that everything that you want to do is technology-led, it's online? Because one thing I've learned is a lot of millennials are very, very happy to go online and use software and use apps to do various things. You've got things on your phone. You have your bank on your phone, you have your photos on your phone, your emails on your phone, everything's on your phone. So why should your accounts not be on your phone? Why should your business not be on your phone? So again, coming back to the same point I mentioned earlier, it could be the ERP. Maybe they can give you the right ERP that you can set up. Maybe they can give you the right app stack to say which apps you need to use to make sure it's relevant to your business. It's concise, and it's collaborating. So you don't have to worry about going into 15 different pieces of software and doing 15 different things, but you have all of it in one place collaboratively and use that to your benefit. I hope that's answered a bit of the question, but if you've got any more questions, by all means, get in touch with us or with QuickBooks. One of the things I'd say it's very important is you get the base right to start off. If you're using if you're not using a software for doing your day-to-day bookkeeping, and it's not difficult, it's very easy. It's very important to have the software. For example, you're here on QuickBooks platform. So buy QuickBooks, use that for your day-to-day bookkeeping. You can link your bank to it. You can link your invoicing could be raised directly from the system, sent across to your customers. It's there. It's a permanent record. You don't have to do Excels. You don't have to do Word documents. You don't have to do different bits of documents in the background and save them on a server somewhere or a hard drive. And if you were to lose that data, go into QuickBooks. Use the facilities that's there for the software and use it to your advantage, to your benefit. You can manage, you can track in terms of your costings. There is so much functionality available from softwares online now, digitally, it is phenomenal. So please have a look at that and make sure you go and choose somebody who's right for you, not just anybody who knows and understands your business and is interested in your business. I hope that sort of covers that question. Swiftly moving on, but it's a fantastic question, Louise. We've got Brett on Facebook Messenger, and the question he's got is, the lease on our office space is up in the next few months. Considering we had all work from home for the majority of the last year and some of this, I feel like the rent was a real money suck. I could really save so much if we didn't renew. What should we be considering? Again, an absolutely enormous question. A lot of people asking the same question. They're going back and they're looking at change, as I was talking about earlier. And change is, I've always worked from an office. What do I do? Do I still keep on going and working from an office? Well, actually, I've been working from home for a good part of 18 months. Do I really need an office? And that's a very, very personal question. And it's one everybody's considering. Hey, we've considered that. Do we need all of our workforce in the office? But the way we operate, it's something that we want to keep. We want to ensure that everybody's coming in, the clients are able to come in and see us. Now, depending on your business, Brett, it might be that all of your work is online. All the work can be done through Zoom, through Teams. You might take the decision that it's actually money not well spent at this stage in the life cycle of your business. It might be that you've got a team which is quite integrated, small, but linked up through an ERP, which can talk to each other quite effectively and work efficiently remotely. Absolutely. I mean, why not? Why not work from home? A lot of businesses do, a lot of businesses are. A lot of the huge multinationals are looking at having people work from home. So it's actually a very personal question. Yes, you might want to go and see some customers face to face. Could you go to their site and see them? Could you bring them into a serviced office where you could see them? You can book a meeting room, you can hire it. You can have a registered office, a serviced facility where you can buy. There's several providers in the market, and that could be the right solution for you. But I think it's very important to consider that at some stage, people will go to some sort of normality and people would want to go and see people face to face. Would the facility of a meeting room be enough for you? Would you want something more? Or would you be looking at, right, shall I go back into a lease? But again, maybe look at flexible working and maybe look at an office space where 2 of you can go into the office on a day rather than 10 of you, if that's how many you've got in the team. And they could work in collaboration in the office. Also, as a mindset for mental health, it's always good, and I'm not an expert on mental health, but what we're seeing as a result of people working from home, it is maybe not ideal to work from home all the time for all the staff. Maybe bring some of them in, have a smaller office, have a flexible lease, maybe a monthly rolling or a 3-monthly rolling, and then you're not tied up into a long contract. And if you were to decide at a later date, right, I think enough is enough, you can then go back and go, that's it. I can terminate within a month, and then you're back working from home because you've got your systems online and you can work remotely. So absolutely, very, very relevant question, close to a lot of people's heart, and one I'm being asked a lot nowadays. I've also got now Ruben on Instagram. Ruben's asking, he's thinking of turning my business into a limited company instead of being a sole trader. Will this affect my current leases, contracts, insurances? This is, again, phenomenal. I mean, the questions that are coming are just so relevant. It's phenomenal. Ruben, you're absolutely right. You're a sole trader. And at the moment in time, the way you're operating your business is, everything is you. It is yourself. The buck stops with you, which is absolutely right. It should do, because it's your business. However, when I talked about creating structures which would safeguard you and your business, your family and your livelihood, this is where exactly it comes in. From having a sole trader, any contracts that you have, you are personally liable for absolutely everything. You're responsible. You have no protection. If in the case of Brett, if you had a lease and if you wanted to come out of the lease, and the landlord was not happy for you to do that, you were then personally liable. They can go after your assets, and they can say, well, you've got a house, we want to go for your house. You've got a car, we want to have your car, if you were unable to pay. And this is where your accountants come in handy, and they can talk to you and say, we believe, Ruben, you're at a place in your life cycle of your business that you should now incorporate. And it could be that it's not just you as a sole trader, you've got your wife working with you, you've got your brother working with you, you've got a friend who works with you part-time. Maybe you want to incorporate it into a limited liability partnership. Then that gives you that bit of protection in terms of limited liability. And that's extremely important as a business, especially in these times. A lot of businesses have been affected majorly because they weren't able to fulfill or cover the costs or pay their suppliers because the income didn't come through, because the business that they ran was either seasonal, was either volume-based. So they had to get the work in every single day. And due to the pandemic, a lot of businesses got affected, which then meant that they weren't getting the revenue in and they weren't able to pay the people out. There was not a reason that they didn't want to pay people. The revenue just wasn't coming in for them to be able to pay people. Now, in that situation, which is completely not ideal, and it's completely unheard of, and it's probably once in a lifetime cycle that I've seen, and a lot of people have experienced. So these people who are sole traders, who are sole traders, are personally liable, and their family assets, if they have a family home, which they work really, really hard to get for their family, they've got wife, they've got children. Now that home is actually at risk, because what's happening is any creditor or supplier who's owed money can come for that house if you're a sole trader, because you're not protected. As a limited company or limited liability partnership, your liabilities are very, very limited to exactly what you've invested in the business, which gives you that protection. And it's important, when I spoke about protection earlier, is review where you are. The larger the business grows, there's nothing wrong with having a sole trader. You could be a sole trader turning over 10 million if that's what you wanted. But what you've got to look at is what's important to you, what's important in life, what sort of protections do you want? And as the business grows, business is about uncertainty. It's about risk. It's fantastic because you take the risk and you get the reward. But at the same time, you want to be making sure that you don't take risks that will put your livelihood, maybe the assets of the family at risk. So absolutely, Ruben, I think you should have a conversation with your accountant and see how you can incorporate your sole tradership into the limited company, and all the contracts that you have, which is your current leases, your insurances, all of them can be novated straight across into the limited company. Speak to the suppliers. They'd be more than happy to deal with you. Some people might have an issue with it because, again, they're losing the unlimited protection to a limited protection, but then that's where you go and negotiate with them. And that's why you're in business, because you're an entrepreneur. A fantastic question. We've also got Cassie on Twitter. Cassie's asked the question, the working relationship I have with my accountant currently is we only touch base a few times a year. If I wanted a bit more, how would I go about raising that? Wouldn't it get expensive quickly? Again, everybody's asking the question, if you offer these services, does that mean you're expensive? If I ask for this, it's going to cost me a lot more. Do I really want to spend? So I think there was a mind shift, which is important to have. And the mind shift is this: you shouldn't look at your accountant as somebody who's a cost associated with your business. If your accountant's the right sort of an individual that you're working with, and they are your trusted advisor, they're also your coach. And they're also bringing a lot of value to your business in terms of businesses, or what you should be doing, how you should be doing. So I think it's important that you get in touch with them. It's important that you speak to them. Now, what you've got to look at, Cassie, is when you're looking at your business, when you buy equipment, it's an investment in your business. When you buy IT, when you buy software, it is for your business. And because it's for your business, that brings value to your business, maybe saves you money, maybe makes your processes more efficient, makes probably you work collaboratively with your staff effectively. That's bringing a lot of value to you. It's increasing maybe your revenue, it's reducing your cost, maybe it's bringing things to the fore which you never imagined were there and never thought about. And this is exactly what you need to look at. If your accountant's coming in and they're advising you further about, okay, I will provide you this service. If they're providing you protection, what you've done is, for a small fee that you might pay to them, you've protected your assets. For a small fee that you might pay to them, you've protected your children's future. For a small fee that you might pay to them, you might be able to structure in a manner where, in the event of an unknown eventuality, your assets are still secure, your family walks away with something. So we've got to stop thinking about accountants being a cost center and work collaboratively with them. And because they're trusted advisors and they've got this huge amount of knowledge, I think we should use that knowledge for our benefit as a customer. And that actually is an investment. It's not a cost. I hope that clarifies it. And it's a very important one. Everybody asked that question. I think I'm going to take the last question from Chris on Facebook. And Chris is asking, is there any accreditations we could look for in accountants that holds some weight? Again, absolutely a question which people should be asking. The person am I working with, is that person qualified? Is that person got the right experience? Is that person got the right sort of knowledge that they can help me with my business and ensure that the reporting that I do is relevant? It's absolutely key that you should look for an accountant who's qualified. Now, we've got several institutes in the UK that are qualified accountants aspire and work with, and they're the CCAB. And the main ones in the UK are the ICAEW and ACCA. You've also got ICAS for Scotland, and you've also got ICAI for Ireland. So look for somebody who's qualified. We've also got other institutes like AAT, etc., etc. So look for the qualifications. But more importantly, like I said earlier with Louise, ask the question, is the accountant amply qualified? Because just having a qualification doesn't mean that they will know your industry base. So ask the questions if they know your industry, if they know your business, and if they can be a good support for you. Because one size does not fit all. All accountants are not the fountain of all knowledge. We all have our expertise, we all have our own experiences, and they could benefit you as a customer. And if you've got the accountant who's got the relevant experience in your industry or a niche one, absolutely. Maybe you need somebody generalistic, but look at the checklist I was talking about earlier, tick all the boxes to see, do they tick all of these boxes? Am I happy with this? Yes, I want to work with this individual, and that matters. And suck it and see. And I think it will be a fantastic experience. Right. So we've got timelines to meet. We've got deadlines, and I've just had the poll coming. Thank you. First of all, thank you all for participating in the poll. And the poll that we had today was, are you happy with the types of services you're receiving from your accountant? And believe it or not, and I'm absolutely not surprised, 80% of you said yes. And why not? And why not? We're not asking for a lot more from our accountants than they can offer. Most accountants can offer what we're asking for. And it's very important and it's close to my heart that the clients are dealt with in a manner which they want. It should never be one size fits all. Accountancy or compliance services is just one thing, but working with an accountant should be a bespoke solution for you, for your business, and to help you grow and your business grow and provide you all the protection that we can. And on that note, thank you all for tuning in. If you want to get in contact with us, you can email us at info@morganreach.com or visit our website on www.morganreach.com. Coming up on Ask the Expert tomorrow is Victoria Shepherd. She's a co-founder of a specialty coffee shop, Queens of Mayfair. Tune in to learn all about launching a business in a post-lockdown world. It's promised to be a fantastic Ask the Expert event. A reminder that if you need any more advice, join the official Intuit QuickBooks SME community group on Facebook, and accountants and business experts on hand 24/7. I've genuinely enjoyed the session and the questions that have come across today. Very relevant, very pertinent. It's been fantastic. It's been great. I wish you all a fantastic day and a fantastic week ahead of you.